needs to be done is you need to slow down and you need to apply what we call a check, CHECK framework. And I'll quickly summarize, how we've advised consumers at Bank Bazaar. So the first one, right, is just the credibility of the person asking you the money, right? The number one thing, Alex, is call the person who says they need it urgently. It might be a bank, it might be your father. Just pick up the phone and say, did you send me a message saying I have to transfer money urgently? Or are you the bank which is trying to contact me? So check the credibility, right? Second, be careful if it's hasty. Whenever someone says it's a 2-hour deadline, if you don't do it today, we'll do something, that haste is part of the psychological attack, right? E is extra information. Why do you need my OTP? Why do you need my card number? Why do you need my PIN? Just check if they're putting that excess information pressure on you. C, right, is this a credible portal? Did you go to your bank site? Did you go to the utility site? Is it a known provider who's asking you for this information? And controlled, right? Did you initiate it? Or is it coming at you? Because if you initiate a payment, it's fine. But if it's someone coming at you with haste, with extra information, the alarm bell should go off. So I think we really need to create that awareness, which your show is doing now, that when someone puts pressure, when someone says it's urgent, when it's initiated by them, not by you, when they're sending you a link to something that is not a portal you usually pay with, it's not your bank site that you're on, it's not the utility site you're on. All this, right, should make you pause and reconsider.
It's interesting because the regulator is doing a lot. Banks have started taking action. Just the other day, last week, Adhil, I was trying to transfer money to my dad, and I couldn't remember how much I had to send to him, and I called him. It was on speaker. I went to the bank application, and while I was punching in the amount to send, and as I was hitting send, there was a pop-up to say, is this somebody that you trust? I cannot remember the exact the text that was used, but is this someone that you trust? You are on a phone call, perhaps you should send it later, or something like that. So banks are taking cognizance.
Yeah, see, kudos, right? I think the example is from ICICI Bank, and kudos to them of thinking of this kind of application, saying if you're on a call and you're transferring money, they're saying, are you sure?
Yeah.
See, Alex, nowhere in the world, right, has the banking regulator, in our case RBI, hired one of the biggest superstars in the country to create awareness material saying don't share your OTP, don't share your CVV, don't share your PIN. I think they're doing their job there. In fact, I would say the design of India's systems are actually quite secure. Two-factor authentication. How many years ago, right, the RBI pushed and the bank supported and we made it happen. There's several developed nations which don't offer two-factor authentication. Now the problem is psychological. So if I don't give you my PIN, if I don't give you my OTP, there's very little you can do about it. So we've come to a point in time, right, where we need to create that awareness that the phishing attack is happening, and consumers need to take a pause, right? When the alarm bells of this is initiated by someone else, I don't know who they are, they're putting pressure on me saying do it now, they're asking for my OTP, they're asking for my CVV, they're sending me a link for payment now, which typically they will not do. That needs to give pause to our consumers.
And the best way to, as you pointed out, the best way to fix this or to prevent something from happening is to actually call the utility that they're talking about. Say, I'll call you back.
That's the best way, Alex, right? So when my colleague got a message saying, this is Adhil, I urgently need you to transfer this much money here, she just called me, right, and said, Adhil, are you in trouble? And I said, no. If you get a message from your friend, I think number one, call, right?
Yeah.
Which is that credibility of who it is, which is the C in the check framework. The second I find, right, is pay in the site that you know the money is due. So go to your bank site and check and make the payment. Go to your utility site, check and make that payment. Don't do it on a link that you got. Don't do it on a request that you got. Just go to the credible site, right? Have the control that you've gone to the credible site. This is a known platform, and then make the payment on the known platform with your control, which is the K in the check framework.
Absolutely.